Balance is a mental health and addiction peer support service. We're all a team of people who are qualified in different areas of health and well-being, mental health and addiction support, things like that. But we come from a place of lived experience, and so we have all had our own experience and been through something significant in our lives that we've then used to kind of propel us into recovery and learn a lot of how to keep ourselves safe and well. So when we work with people, we really work from that place rather than a place of, yeah, I can help you because I read it in a book. And so, yeah, I guess that's really helpful for people, and it's helpful for them to feel like they're talking to someone who understands and gets it and has no place of judgment.
We work within many areas, so we work within Stanford House, Te Awhina, the community and the rurals. There's
a lot of different issues in this community, but we have an open door policy, and anyone can access help because, you know, anyone can experience mental emotional distress or addiction, and it's not discriminatory, and so neither are we. There is big problems around homelessness and alcohol addiction and meth addiction, and there's a lot of violence in our community, and there's a lot of trauma. There's also a lot of good services. Not only us, but there's a lot of people who are really passionate and dedicated working in this community. There are quite a few really amazing organisations who also have the open doors and the aroha that people need.
Our biggest thing is that we meet people where they're at and go from there. So we meet them where they're at, and if we're the right person, we'll engage and do what we need to do. If we're not, we'll refer on. I'm really passionate about peer support. I started 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, so it's been a long time. I have a family history of being a child of someone with mental health, and then I have my own journey of mental illness myself, and then I've gone on to have kids with disabilities. So it's a lived experience, it's a passion, and I just want to reach others who are going through what I went through and reach them where they are.
I've always had issues, ever since I was born. But yeah, after years of being in and out of psychiatric units and rehab centres and all sorts of things, I was taken to the first peer-run respite in New Zealand, and that was the first time I was in contact with people who were peer support workers. So they were kind of working to support people, but they had their lived experience. And before that, I thought that I was kind of like a lost cause, and this was the hand I've been dealt, that I'm just unwell and I take pills and I can't work and I have no future and I just sit there and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes, you know, and that's what I thought it was. But when I went there and saw that these people had homes and families and careers and they were out there living the lives that they wanted to live, that's when I realised that I could have something better than what I had, and that's when I realised that recovery was actually possible. From then, yeah, I was just like, wow, actually I can do anything. And so I went to university, and then I worked actually in physical health, and then about 4 years ago I came to Whanganui and I waltzed up here and they had a job and I took it. Yeah, and so it's been really cool being able to give back in that way. And it's definitely so amazing to work somewhere where I can just be myself and be crazy and no one's going to judge me, and it's okay here to just not hide that. One time I was in a public bathroom and this lady ran up to me and hugged me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And I didn't really remember her, and that's no offense to her, I see a lot of people. She was like, thank you so much, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I've got my life together and I've got my children back, and now I'm studying to be a nurse, and I've never been so happy in my whole life. And I just like burst into tears there in the public bathroom, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's just the best thing that you can hear from people, is that they've found their hope and that they've found some sort of passion or direction.
It is amazing to watch, and it makes it so worth it. And that shows our people that actually you can turn your life around and you can choose to live a full life.
You know, when people come here, they're coming home, and when people are around the people here, they're with their tribe, and that's how I want people to feel, that they can just walk in and have a cup of tea and be around people who are going to accept them, even if they're saying some really strange things or behaving in a really strange way, or, you know, even if they're in tears, they can just come here and have a cup of tea and be around their own, and that's really great. I guess if you notice someone who's having a hard time, don't ignore it. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's none of my business, or I'll leave them be, or whatever, but it's really important that we actually acknowledge that someone's having a rough time, and that we reach out. And listening, I think, is the most important thing. Just listening to people, and you don't need to fix them or advise them or rescue them, you just listen. I guess what we want to see is that peer support and lived experience be involved in all areas of mental health and addiction, and that we're there to uphold people's human rights, and that we're there to be the people who understand exactly how it is going through that, exactly how it is being under the Mental Health Act and being restrained and being secluded and being medicated, and would really like to be there for those people and be there on those journeys so that they're not alone. Even if they have to go through that, it would be nice to just be there with them.